Hello, everyone. Dr. Hassaan Tohid here once again, live with an amazing session as usual. Today's session is on how to publish in high impact factor journals, the journals with high impact factor. How do we do that? And for this session, everyone who is watching me, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon, and comment below that I have subscribed, and I'll get back to you with your questions and concerns. And all the students who are listening to me, all the enrolled students, you guys should be able to get the link very soon. And please feel free to type and feel free to comment and ask questions. Ask questions. And I'm waiting for all of you to join me. And if you have any problem hearing my voice, then let me know. And this is going to be an amazing session, and I want all of you to take notes. When you are with me in my session, please do take notes. And I know there are teachers who say that, no, please don't take notes when you are in my class. No, I'm not like that. I always support taking notes, and I want all of you to take notes. The reason is I myself understand how difficult it can be. If you have a little bit problem with focus, problematic can it be? It used to be very problematic for me if I did not take notes, because I used to forget everything, and it was very difficult for me to focus on the point in the class. So make sure you take notes. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Today is a very important session. I wanted to discuss this thing with you, and for all the students who are about to finish their papers, and for all those who are about to start their papers. If you follow these things that you will learn today, you will have no problem in publishing your paper to any journal at all. Of course, not every journal will accept you, and they should not. This is not how the world works. But you will still have such a paper that it will have huge chances of publishing. And we will talk about all the secrets. And I think everyone is here already. Everyone is here. Okay, now we have these students coming up. Okay, so guys, you can start asking questions if you have any questions that are stopping you and creating problems. Anything that is creating problem or confusion, then do ask me. And all the new admissions into the Be a Published Author program, make sure you create an account on the website. Make sure you create an account on the website before you proceed with the training. Because if you don't create an account on the website, you will miss a lot of great material. And I don't want anyone to miss that. Hi, Saima, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Hayam, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yes, and many people ask me what will be the link, the today's class link. Will that be on Zoom? Will that be on YouTube? I deliberately do that on YouTube because most students have always voted for YouTube. It's easier for them to operate. It's easier for them to watch. And I don't have to send the recordings because it's already recorded. I don't have to record it. I don't have to worry about sending you the recording. So it becomes really easy for everyone. And now I'm here to help you and guide you. So guys, first of all, the main rule is the rule of writing, as I always say, and I'll repeat again, that always set a schedule for writing and decide a place for writing, decide a chair, a desk for writing, and decide particular hours, 2 to 3 hours of particular day that you will write your paper. But if I were you, if I were working on my paper and my career would depend on it, yes, like for you guys, your career depends upon your publication now. So I would have taken it very, very seriously, and I would have been spending like 3 to 4 hours every day on my paper until I finish my paper. And trust me, if you spend 3 to 4 hours a day on your paper, you will be able to finish your paper in less than a month. In less than a month. But it depends how serious you are about your life, how serious you are about your paper, how serious you are about your career. Okay, so what is the time here in California? Yes, it's good morning here. It's 10:30 a.m. California time, 10:36 right now, and we are live. And right now in India, it will be 11 p.m. In Pakistan, it will be 10:36 p.m. And in New York, it is 1:36 p.m. Sorry, in India, it will be 11:36. Oh, sorry. No, no, no. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. 11:06 will be 11:06 in India right now. And different Middle Eastern countries have different time zones. So you can see where exactly you are. Now we are going to embark on an amazing journey. And this is going to be a very powerful session because I will teach you those secrets that probably nobody else has ever taught. How to publish in a top tier journal. And I surfed, I searched, I read about it, I studied, I listened to people, I communicated with people. Very few people have this ideology that I have. Guys, I just got my book as a senior editor published by Springer Nature, one of the greatest publishers in the world. Nature, Springer Nature, you know the name? So, how did that happen? How do these things happen? How do these things happen? That's the point. So, how can you publish your paper with a top publisher in a top journal? How can you do that? We will talk about this. The first thing first is that you should decide that you want to finish your paper. Have you decided? Most people actually haven't taken the decision. Most people, they just kind of want success. Let me talk about this. This is very important. Okay, everyone now has the link. Everyone now has the link almost. Okay, so now the thing is, guys, the problem. The problem is, let's talk about this. Everyone wants success, right? Nobody wants to be a failure in their lives. But very few people are willing to pay the price of success. Success is not free, it doesn't come for free. You need to pay for success. You need to put the effort. You need to take an action. Without you moving, you cannot achieve anything. You have to take an action. If I keep teaching you how to write, if I keep telling you, guiding you how to write, it can just open more doors in your mind how to do it, but you have to take an action. You have to put an effort. And remember, the bigger the effort, the greater the results. The harder the effort, the wonderful and the more, I would say, blessed you will be. The bigger the rewards. So if you want to put just minimum effort like 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes one day a week, that means you're not serious about your career. But if you are serious about your career, if you know, guys, research paper is a single most important factor for your application now. There will be no step one scores. There will be no step one scores next year, right? So when there will be no step one scores, what do you think will be the measure of inviting you for the job for the residency interviews? Step two scores and how much clinical experience you have and how many publications you have. They need some number. So the number of publications will be a very important factor. This is common sense. It's not like I'm making it up. Just ask yourself, what can be the measure? If you are a residency director and there is no scoring system left, what will you use to invite people for interviews? Publications is a very important factor now. and you know it is a decisive factor for your career, then why don't you take it seriously? You have to take it seriously. Life is serious. Life is not a joke. It's rightly said that life is not a bed of roses. So you have to take your life and your career seriously. You have 5 months and 9 days left in residency application for all those who are applying for US residency. 5 months and 9 days in September 15th. The time will fly. 5 months is nothing. You will be remembering my words just like yesterday on September 15th. You will say he was right. The time is gone. We haven't done anything. Every single minute is important right now. You should not be attending parties. You should not be attending movies, watching movies. You should not be attending celebrations and birthday parties, wedding ceremonies. First of all, it's COVID. You should not be attending any parties anyways until COVID is resolved. So it's a blessing that we have COVID. It's a blessing in disguise that now we all can isolate ourselves and focus on our goal. It's a blessing in disguise. Did you ever think of this that way? That now you have reason to say no to all the parties, to all the dinners, to all the lunches for 5 months, and you can say, actually, I'm sorry, I cannot show up because my doctor said, because XYZ said, or because Dr. Fauci said that you should have social distancing. So 5 months. So you have 5 months now. It's enough time. Focus solely on your residency. Focus solely on your research paper. No other thought should come into your mind. If you have other thoughts coming into your mind besides your goal, you cannot hit it. You will be lucky if you match. You will be lucky if you match, but I'm telling you 100% recipe, 100% recipe. I'm telling you 100% recipe of matching. What is the 100% recipe? Don't let any other thought come into your mind besides your research paper and besides your residency. How do you do that? Keep writing your goals every day, multiple times, every day. Keep looking at it. Anyone talks to you about something else, you say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, let me focus on my goal. That's how you do it. Because if you have something else in your mind, you must have seen my video on the story of success and the Indian story, the legend, the Arjun story. Any Indian student who's listening to me knows what I'm talking about. It's a very famous story in India. He had only one thing in his mind. He could only see the bird's eye, nothing else. That's why he hit it. Your goal of getting into residency is really, really sharp. It's a difficult goal. You need to consider it as a bird's eye. That means if you are looking here and there, besides this bird eye, every day, you will not hit it. Every day. Stand guard at the door of your mind every day, like the great Jim Rohn used to say. Stand guard at the door of your mind every day. You have to take care of this thing. This will take you to residency, this part. This will give you the achievement, the goal that you're looking for, the career success. So make sure you control your mind. The first thing first is to control your mind, control your thoughts. You should not let any negative thought come into your mind. Now, if any other thought comes to your mind, what do? You go for a walk or jog and run fast. Get fresh, take a deep breath, and just think about, how do I achieve my goal? How do I achieve my goal? How do I get into residency? Ask this question to yourself every day. How can I get into residency? How can I make my CV that attractive that the residency directors cannot ignore me? How can I do that? How can I do that? Ask the right question. Don't ask the lousy question. So now, if you can publish in a top tier journal really, really fast, the chances of your residency will be this high. If you get a publication in a top tier journal, or if you get a publication even in a PubMed index journal, or even if, let's say, any journal, but you are a first author, you will make a huge difference. So now I want everyone to focus, to listen to me. Take notes. I have my notes with me, okay? I want everyone to take notes. And keep asking questions. Love from Kashmir. Kashmir. Beautiful place. One day I want to visit both parts. Third part, I don't know if the Chinese part I can go, but I want to visit both parts. I want to go to Srinagar. I want to go to, that place. Oh, that's my dream wish from since my for the past 15 years, to be in Srinagar. There's a place I want to see. I don't want to mention the name, but there is a place. Okay, that's my personal goal. So very soon I'll be there after this COVID is gone. No, 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 no. It's a shrine. It's a shrine out there. I want to see that shrine. I've heard a lot about it. Okay, so I broke the ice. I told the secret. Okay, anyways, how to publish in the top tier journal? How to publish in the journal with high impact factor? The first thing first is you gotta decide that I will be a published author. Have you taken a decision yet? No, most people just have a wish and they say, oh, I wish I will be a published author. Guys, just decide. It's in your hands. It's in your own hands. So first thing first, make sure you write down, decide. Have you take a decision? When you take decision, you cut everything off. All the ways of going back. The decision is, I will become a published author and nobody can stop me. And you have to say this aloud at least 10 times a day. Write it down. I have decided that I will become a published author, and before my residency match application, September 15th, I will have my publication in my hand. Keep saying it as many times as possible. Believe. Second thing you all need is the belief. Can you get the belief? How do you believe that yes, I can do it? How can you get the belief? How can you produce the belief in yourself when you doubt yourself? I know all of us doubt ourselves. Do you think I never doubted myself? I doubted myself as well. And whenever the bad time comes, we start to doubt ourselves. And whenever you get a result of USMLEs and you have now low scores, now your doubt increases, your confidence decreases, doubt increases. It's natural. But how do you change the things around? Doubt goes down, confidence goes up. How do you do that? By talking to yourself in positive manner, and you will say, I can do it. I can become a published author. I will do it. If other people have done it, I can do it. People younger than me have done it. A 17-year-old published a first author research paper in a PubMed index journal. What a beautiful paper she wrote. A 17-year-old. If a 17-year-old kid can do it, you guys can do it. And I know two 17-year-old publishing in great journals as and produced wonderful results. And do you think they are the youngest people? No, there would be some people who will be 16-year-old, 17, 15-year-old. People do that if they decide they can do it. And the edge they have is they had been habitual, or they were in a habit of writing essays. And guys, all of you have written essays. The problem is the 5-year medical school, the 4-year, 6-year medical school system that you belong to, you never got a chance to write essays. So you forgot that you used to write essays in high school. And before that, even before that, you were writing essays. Do you remember that? Think about it. Were you not writing essays at that time? Anyone who is a medical doctor right now listening to me, can you say that you never wrote an essay before? You all have written essays before. So yes, you can do it. Remind yourself of your previous successes. Write it down. Remind yourself of your previous successes. Your biggest success was getting into the medical school. It was not an ordinary achievement. Millions of people want to be doctors, but only few get admission. You passed your first year exams. You got into second year. And then another success. You got into your third year. You got into your fourth year. Success after success after success you have been achieving. You have been getting what you want. So why can't you write a paper? Paper writing is way easier than that. So you have to remind your successes to yourself. The first thing first is the decision that you decide that I will not run away. Are you a lion or are you a hyena? Live like a lion. Don't run away. Don't run away. Don't quit now. You have started. A loser quits. Don't quit your paper. You have started. Now say, I will die or I will be a published author. No other option. Do or die sense of achievement. No matter what happens. And by the way, nobody dies of working hard. Has anyone died working hard? No. Just get achievement and happy, and you become better. Your health becomes better because you feel better about yourself. So everyone can write papers. Everyone can do it. Young kids can do it. So doctors can do it. Medical students can do it. If you are a senior doctor, senior professor, you can do it. Our student, he was in his 50s, published his paper. Another student I had, she was in his 60s, her 60s. She was in her 60s. And she was actually a dean from a very renowned university, my student. Now people say, oh, you taught a dean? Yes. So you decide, you start to believe by positive reinforcement, by saying out loud that I can do it, I will do it, I can do it. If others can do it, I can do it. If others can do it, I can do it. I will do it. It is easy. It is easy. It is easy. I can do it. It is easy. It is easy. Say it aloud 100 times until your mind starts to believe that yes, it is easy. Yes, I can do it. Guys, I was a person of a very low self-confidence and very low self-esteem. I was a person of a very low confidence and very low self-esteem. And how did I develop this? Somebody taught me this secret. To talk to yourself in positive manner every day and say, I can do it. The first time I said, my mind didn't believe it. Second time I said, my mind didn't believe it. But when I said it again and again and again, I started feeling good. I started to say, yes, probably I can do it. Probably I can do it. Oh, yes, I think I can do it. Oh, yes, I think I can do it. Oh, I believe, yes, I really can do it. One day I started to say this in just a matter of few days. My confidence level went to I would say, skyrocketed. And today I can do anything you ask me to do. If you want me to talk to 1 billion people, I'll go out and do that. There was a time I could not speak to one person. And today I can talk to billions of people because I kept telling myself I can do it. Same thing with my publications. Same thing with my TED Talk. Many people ask me, how did I get to the TED Talk? I started to say to myself, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And you have to keep your heart clean, heart and mind clean. No negative feelings for anyone else. If you have a feeling that I become published author and nobody else becomes published author, I don't want to help anyone. Nature will not help you. Open your heart for others. Finish your jealousy. Nature will help you. It will make things easier for you. You need to understand the divine principles. You need to understand the spirituality. Guys, it exists. It exists. Now visualize. Write it down. Visualize that you are showing your publications to other people. You are sharing it on your Facebook like other people do. I got my paper published. You share that on your LinkedIn and people are liking the post. People are commenting, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I will come and congratulate you on your LinkedIn. If you are on my LinkedIn connection, you show your publication, I'll come and comment and congratulate you. Find me on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'll come and comment. Twitter, follow me. Instagram, I'll come and congratulate you. And share your achievement on your social media. You know why? You never know. You post it and one of the residency directors is looking at LinkedIn and he saw, oh wow, this student got her publication. Oh, what a wonderful publication. Hey, Jessica, could you please see this girl? She got her paper published. I just saw on LinkedIn. I'm sending her profile. Just call her for interview for residency. Can this happen? Absolutely. Will this happen? If you are a positive person, you are a good person, you have been helping others, nature will help you like this. Did this happen to other people? It did. That's how things work. So when you publish your paper, share that on your social media. So imagine and visualize that you are writing your paper and you are writing a very high quality paper and now your paper is published. And imagine you're working hard towards that achievement. Think about it. And the brighter you think about it, the easier it will be to become a reality. In fact, neuro-linguistic programming says that if you have, many NLP experts believe this, and I believe that too. I am a practitioner, NLP practitioner too. So I can tell you this, that if you have a goal and you are vigilant, make it bright and brighter and brighter. That you are, because when we imagine something is blurry and it's dark, your goal is, when you are imagining that your publication is out and you are showing your publications to others, start to brighten that room that you are looking at. That you are standing in a room, you are showing it to your parents, you are showing it to your classmates, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, and you're reading your publication, you have printed out your publication, and you're doing your residency interviews, you are showing that to your residency director. Make it brighter. The image that is in your eyes that you are thinking about, make it brighter. I'm telling you a secret. The brighter the image, the clearer you will be able to see it, and it will become a reality. You will attract it. It sounds foolish, but try doing it. There's no harm, right? Try doing it, and then you'll come back and you say, oh, you were right. It did happen. I told my students, they said, could you give us any advice of how do we get into residency? I said, start imagining, start thinking about it, that you're walking in the corridor of a hospital, in the ward, and there's a patient right on the right side, there's a patient on the left side, there's a patient in this room, there's a patient here, you're taking history, you have your notes and you're taking history, and you are now going back and entering the information in the computer. Imagine this really, really clear. Can you also imagine the face of the patient? Can you imagine the hospital so clearly, so bright that it starts to look reality? Can you do that? They said, we will do it. And guess what? They matched. I'm talking about 3 students. They asked me this question. 2 matched. The third one will match. It will apply this year. He was a junior at that time. But 2 matched the same year. 1 matched into psychiatry, 1 matched into neurology. The neurology student said, how do I make sure I get into neurology? I said, start thinking about Parkinson's patients. Then you're looking at Parkinson's patients. Start looking at Alzheimer's patients. Make it a reality in your mind. It will become a reality. What your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. How will it conceive and believe? It will conceive and believe by thinking about it in bright color, bright light. Nobody tells these things. I'm telling you this. And Hayam typed, fake it till you make it. That's true. Fake it till you make it. In fact, another philosophy of fake it till you make it, start calling yourself a published author. Start imagining you're a published author. Start living like a published author. Start living like a doctor. If you want to be a neurologist, start living like a neurologist. Start to dress like a neurologist. Start to sit like a neurologist. Talk like a neurologist. If you want to be a psychiatrist, talk like a psychiatrist. Look like a psychiatrist. Behave like a psychiatrist. If you want to be a teacher, behave like a teacher. If you want to be an internal medicine specialist, behave like an internal medicine doctor. Look like an internal medicine doctor. Behave and talk like an internal medicine doctor. Change the way you talk. Change the way you walk. Change the way you sleep. Change the way you wake up. Change the way you eat. Change everything about yourself and you will become that person. Nature will attract that position automatically to you. Psychiatrists have certain personality. You become that person today, psychiatry residency will be attracted to you automatically. Automatically. That means residency directors will love you. If you want to be a neurologist, look at neurologist profiles, look at neurologist interviews, see how they talk, how they dress, how they behave. Attract. See how internal medicine best doctors behave. How do they dress? How do they talk? How do they communicate with the patient family members? How do they talk with their patients? Just emulate. Idealize one best person you can think of and behave like it. And you will become that person. So becoming a published author is exactly like this. Now that once you have done this mental exercise of started to believe that you can do it, promise yourself you will say this every day. I will become a published author and I will get my residency. I will become my published author. I will become a published author and I can get into it. I can say I can instead. It is better. I can become a published author and I can get into residency. And by the way, what your mind can conceive and believe you can achieve is not my words. It is by Napoleon Hill in the famous book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, so mind is the main thing. And I have told you all the exercises of mind, how you will take care of your mind. If you take care of your mind, you say, I can do it. I can be a published author. I can get residency. I can do it. I can get residency. I can get 10+ interview calls. And imagine yourself behaving and performing really well in the interview with confidence. You know why you are scared in the interviews? We'll talk about this in the interview session again. I'll do that, but I'm just giving you a hint. Because you haven't grown to the interview level. You haven't grown to the residency director's level. That's why you are scared. You're here. But when you're here, you will not be scared. And if you're here, who will be scared? They will be scared. Why can't you jump on this level? Be so accomplished that your achievements create an aura. Your achievements scare the residency director. That, oh my goodness, we want this candidate. We don't want him to go anywhere else. Now they are scared. They don't want to lose you. That positive scare, that's what I mean. So grow to that level. Look at the CVs of residency directors. Your task is so simple. Have more things on your CV than that person has. That's it. Imagine what your level will be. If not that, even if you have half of it, he will still be like, oh my goodness, at his age I was not that accomplished. You know, one of the legends of psychiatric world told me, one of the greatest psychiatrists in the world, he told me that I reminded him of his own self when he was young, when he was 32-year old. I was with him in his office, and I'm a great fan of him. His name is Dr. Small, and he's a legend. And when he said that, it gave me such a satisfaction. He said I reminded him of his own self when he was young. So you gotta achieve this much that the residency director tells you, that you remind them of themselves, or you have accomplished more than them at this age. The problem is you haven't achieved enough. You run away from hard work. You run away from achievement. You are thinking about entertainment. You're thinking about sports. How much time it takes to improve your CV to that level? 1 to 2 years. If you have just graduated, 1 to 2 years, I would say 1.5 year, every day working hard every single day, enroll yourself in multiple courses, start working on multiple publications. Don't do anything else besides working on your CV. How on earth your CV will not be at that level? And when your CV grows, you are actually growing as well, because you are learning and growing. And the looking of the watching of the interviews of great doctors is a part of your training of becoming better. You learn how they talk, you learn how they behave. I'm telling you those invaluable secrets that I wish somebody had taught me when I was a young student. I learned this with time and wisdom, and with experience. So I'm telling you all this. Now, once that is done, next thing is decide the list of journals, the names of the journals, 20 possible journals that you want to target. Now, where do you find the list of journals? Shimago. I'm telling you a website. SCIMAGOJR. I'll repeat again. SCIMAGOJR. Shimago.com. You go to that website, click on it, type the name of the specialty, internal medicine, click enter, and it will show you all possible journals of all possible rating, from the best to the least famous or least popular one. Now your target is to select top 20, any 20 journals. Now if you want to select the first one, that's a big jump if you haven't written anything, but there is no harm in trying. What's the maximum? They will say no. And because there will be rejections, there's no question about it. Do you think my papers don't get rejected? Do you think anyone's papers don't get rejected? Even Nobel Prize nominated professors, Nobel Prize winners, their papers do get rejected as well. So rejection is a process of publishing. Sometimes journals don't have enough space left. Don't take it personally. Don't get disappointed when a journal rejects it. Be ready for 20 rejections. Be ready for 20 rejections. Just like the job interview. Remember I told you guys a secret of job application, that you apply for jobs again and again until you get one yes. Same thing is for publication. You just need one yes, and that one yes is coming. SCIMAGOJR. SCIMAGOJR. Some people call it as Shimago. SCIMAGOJR. Shimago. This is the website. This will give you the list of the journals from Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All 4 categories. Q1 are the highest impact factor journals. Q2, Q3, Q4. If you haven't written anything before, you choose Q2. and some lower tier Q1. If you want 100% publication, go Q3 and Q4. Faster. You will publish regardless. Just believe in yourself. You will publish regardless. Okay, but remember the top 5, 6, or 10 names in the list on 𝓗𝓪𝓼𝓪𝓪𝓷, the rejection rate is higher. So if they rejected, it is possible that you submitted the next day they tell you that no, we don't want it. Because many of these journals, they want only invited articles. So look at the journal's website, read the author guidelines. Do they accept uninvited articles? Don't waste your time on those journals who don't accept uninvited articles. So the second task is to see which journals accept uninvited articles. Now make a list of 20 possible journals. Be ready for rejections. Once that is done, the next step is follow the most popular guidelines of the study design you're writing. Now, if you're writing a systematic review, what guidelines you will follow to write a systematic review? PRISMA guidelines, PRISMA checklist. If you're writing a scoping review, what do you use? PRISMA guidelines, PRISMA for scoping. If you're writing a meta-analysis, PRISMA guidelines. If you're writing a traditional review, SANRA checklist, SANRA. Now, if you're writing a clinical trial, what will you use? Consort guidelines. If you are writing an observational study, strobe checklist, STROBE. So look at the most common reporting guidelines for the study design you are writing. If you are writing a cohort study, it is an observational study, so strobe checklist. Make sure your paper follows strobe checklist exactly as they wanted. Now, also the list of the journals you have seen, print the page of the author guidelines of each journal and see if you are following the guidelines of all journals together in this paper. Now, this is a tricky thing. Some journals can have a totally different guidelines. So try to find those journals in which the guidelines are similar. The referencing style is similar. The number of references requirement is similar. The reporting guidelines is similar. That journal, for example, journal 1 and journal 2 say that you should follow PRISMA guidelines, but journal 3 says Cochrane. Now you drop the third one. Find those that, because it's not feasible now to change everything in your journal, in your paper. It's not feasible at this moment, once your paper is written, to change everything according to this particular journal. So drop that journal that is requiring you to change a lot of things. If a journal is requiring you to change a lot of things, don't do that. You just stick to the most common guidelines, because most journals fit into that category. Most common reporting guidelines. That means most common checklist. Make sure everything is written according to that checklist. Now, another way to increase the chances of getting published in the top journal, choose a systematic review or meta-analysis over traditional review. If you're writing a review article, you want to publish in the top tier journal, systematic review or meta-analysis. Journals are really, really attracted to those kind of papers. Traditional review will be published in Q3, Q4, or any other journal. But systematic reviews, high tier journals are attracted. Now, if somebody asks me one secret of publishing a paper in the top tier journal for a new student, then the secret is write systematic review and make sure you follow PRISMA checklist and you check your paper on MSTAR checklist. Now submit it and see the magic. For case reports, we have CARE guidelines. CARE checklist, CARE. CARE. And by the way, CARE guidelines are also the reporting guidelines, and they are also the quality appraisal guidelines, quality appraisal checklist. Usually the quality appraisal checklist is different than the reporting guidelines. Like for example, in a systematic review, the reporting guidelines are PRISMA, but the quality appraisal checklist is AMSTAR. People don't know the difference. Difference is you write your paper according to PRISMA, but you check the quality of the paper with AMSTAR. And the papers that you are including in your paper, you will check them on AMSTAR, not on PRISMA. Not on PRISMA. PRISMA is your skeleton of your paper. So that's how, if you follow it properly and correctly, journals will love it. Now the next point in my list, write it down. Don't use Google Scholar as the search engine. I learned this with experience. When some of our students face difficulties, I'm telling you with experience. In your search, in your method section, don't mention the name of Google Scholar. Don't use it as a database. Or if you do, make sure you use other major databases names as well. What are the major databases that you must mention for your search strategy in your method section? Whether you are writing a systematic review or meta-analysis, or you're writing an empirical study like a clinical trial or observational study. For data search, for literature search, you must use PubMed, and in the bracket write down Medline. PubMed Central. PubMed, Medline, PubMed Central. Embase, EMBASE, Embase. Cochrane, Cochrane Library. PsycInfo, Science Direct. These are the giant names you must have. Now, another thing, the journal that you have selected, another secret, write this down. This is very important. The journal you have selected, your first journal, find their paper of the same nature. For example, if you're writing a systematic review and you want to publish in New England Journal of Medicine, that's the #1 journal of medicine, right, in rating. So what do? You download or get a full paper published in New England Journal recently, a systematic review, because you're writing a systematic review. If you're writing a meta-analysis, then download a meta-analysis full paper published by somebody else, and check your method section. Have you used the similar databases? Have you followed the exact same procedure? Does your paper look exactly like this paper in terms of quality, in size, in length, in the vocabulary? So you have a template of other people's papers. Just make sure your paper emulate the style. Look at 2 or 3 papers and compare your paper with them and see. And honestly look at your paper. Don't lie to yourself, and see with honesty what are the weaknesses. It's okay, this is a weakness. Or they have mentioned this much of detail, I think I should mention this much of detail. Or they have mentioned this much of detail, I should mention this much. Or they have these many tables and figures, I'll mention these many tables and figures. Okay, their introduction section has 3 paragraphs, okay, I'll have 3 paragraphs. Or their introduction section has like 6 paragraphs, okay, I'll have 6 paragraphs. Or they have used this many references, okay, I'll use these many references. If you do exactly what other people have done, you will get the same results that they have gotten. Simple formula, no rocket science. Simple formula, no rocket science. In order to achieve what others have achieved, you have to do what others have done. That's it. So look at the papers. Now, second journal, whatever is the second journal, let's say your paper is rejected. Now, before submitting to second journal, look at their systematic reviews or the study design that you are submitting. Look at their papers of that nature, case report. If you are writing a case report, case report. If you're writing a traditional review, the traditional review. If you're writing a systematic review, the systematic review. But as I said, to publish in top tier journal, traditional review will have less chances systematic review will have higher chances to be published. Look at other people's papers. Look at other people's papers. Look at other people's papers. Now, if you are writing a systematic review, follow mesh strategy properly. So make sure your search strategy will follow the regular keywords and the mesh. So remember the concept idea that you will learn during the classes, and I have discussed that before. That you can watch in my video on systematic review. I have given some highlights on that as well. But you will learn in more detail in the course the mesh strategy and the regular keywords. So if you do the search strategy, make sure you do regular keywords and mesh both. Some people make a mistake that they just follow regular keywords, and some people make a mistake they just follow mesh. You gotta follow both. Once you do that on Medline and you mention that in your method section, the journals will be highly impressed. Advanced search strategy, make sure you don't miss it. If you're using PubMed, of course you will be, so don't miss the advanced search strategy. And you will learn that during the classes. We'll teach you everything. And very soon, you will see more videos on advanced search strategy by me to make you guys proficient. All steps should be followed. PRISMA, Consort, and Strobe. Make sure the checklist that you're following, all steps are followed. Don't leave any step. Now, once you're doing it, now deduplication. Make sure you do the deduplication correctly. You will learn that during the classes. Make sure you remove the duplicates from your search results, because journals are looking at it very closely. Then screening. Then the phase of screening begins. When the phase of screening begins of your paper, make sure you and the second author both are involved in doing this. 2 people must be involved, and you mention that in your method and results section. Otherwise, journals will reject it, because it's a requirement by PRISMA. 2 people must be involved. If you don't mention the second person, that the second person was involved, paper will be rejected. Highly likely, if you don't mention it. And now if you had a second person involved, but you did not mention it, you forgot to mention, the paper will still be rejected. So don't forget to mention that. That's why it's very important to keep an eye on PRISMA from the first step to the last step until your paper is written. And even after it's written, do multiple times, check multiple times that you haven't missed any point on PRISMA checklist. Things have become so easy because of PRISMA checklist. You cannot miss anything. Same with Strobe guidelines. Same with any study design. But we are talking about systematic reviews mainly. So things have become so easy. You have a checklist in front of you. If you cannot follow the checklist that has been given to you, it's freely available on Google, then who is to blame? Now, make sure everything is accurate. Now, for systematic reviews, the studies you are including, make sure you do quality appraisal. If you're writing a systematic review of clinical trials, the quality appraisal that you will use is Cochrane Risk of Bias Assessment Tool, the most common one. But look at other people's papers, what they have used in that journal. That will give you an idea. You say, okay, if they have used this one, I'll use this one. Yes, you can modify it like this. Now, let's say you modified according to one journal, and this journal rejects your paper now. What do you do before going to the second journal? Look at if they are accepting that kind of quality appraisal. Now you will have to do it all over again. But the thing is, success comes to those who are willing to pay the price of hard work. So it's okay. Do that. Now, data extraction. When you do the data extraction, it will also be done by 2 people or 3 people. Now, PRISMA flow diagram. For all those who are writing a systematic review, PRISMA flow diagram is a must. If you forget it, you will get a rejection. Okay? Rejection if you don't follow PRISMA flow diagram. Now, English. Once you have written your paper, make sure you check it on Grammarly.com. Yes, very good question, Yasser. You have a question about Newcastle Ottawa scale for cohort studies. Newcastle Ottawa scale is actually a quality appraisal tool. So if you are now listen to me. If you are writing a systematic review of cohort studies, then you will follow PRISMA checklist to write your systematic review, but you will check the quality of the studies that you have included by following Newcastle Ottawa scale. But now, if you are writing a cohort study, what will you use? You don't use Newcastle Ottawa scale. You use strobe guidelines. I know some people use it. They successfully use it, and some journals do accept it as well. But remember, Newcastle Ottawa scale is not a reporting guideline. It's a quality appraisal guideline. So I hope I have made this clear. Newcastle Ottawa scale, yes, you can use it for reporting guidelines, but I highly recommend go with strobe. Now, once your paper is written, make sure it is checked on Grammarly or turn it in some similar software for grammatical errors and spelling errors. Once that is done, and editing errors. Once that is done, now still send your paper to an editor and a proofreader. Hire a proofreader or an editor. They are not expensive, $50, $70, $100 maximum. You hire an editor and they will work on your paper and make it really, really Americanized or native speaker style. Find a native speaker editor. Find a native speaker editor. Find a native speaker editor. And let them work on your paper and tell them that you were not born in the US or UK. You don't have native style. Could you change my paper to a native style writing? And see the magic, how your paper will look like. So now this is another step. Once your paper was written, now you are doing the editing. Now, if your paper has statistical help needed, hire a statistician. You can find them on freelance.com or upwork.com. There are so many websites you can find statisticians who can work on your paper, help you with statistics. Yes, you can do that. But if you're writing a systematic review with us, of course, so keep it qualitative. You don't need to make it a systematic review. You don't need to make it a meta-analysis or a quantitative paper. Try to make it qualitative. Avoid statistics, because then you will have to hire a statistician, and if it becomes a meta-analysis, then you will not learn anything. To learn meta-analysis, we have a course of meta-analysis. You can enroll after that, after you graduate from one program. Now, journal author guidelines. Make sure you watch, read, understand author guidelines before submitting to the journal. Nothing is missed. Nothing is missed. And then the referencing style. Make sure the referencing style, APA style, Vancouver style, Chicago style, Harvard style. What style are they using? The journal. Follow that style. And now write a beautiful cover letter for the journal. Write a cover letter, and you have the material on your course. You have the material on your account on how to write cover letter. I have given that. So write a cover letter. Write a cover letter to the journal in a very, very requesting and beautiful manner, with a respectable tone, with a respectful tone, in a very professional manner, that we have written this paper. I am the author, the corresponding author, and addressing this point and XYZ, and this paper is going to answer a lot of questions like this and this and this. This paper is going to be extremely useful. Please accept this for publication. Submit the cover letter. If you are submitting to a great journal, you must have a cover letter. Now, another thing, before sending the paper to editor and proofreader, write your paper 10 times. Now, this is a huge number. If you cannot do it, then at least do 3 times. Rewrite it, rewrite it, rewrite it. Some people say 7 times. Rewrite it, rewrite it, and your paper, once the 7th or the 10th time you have rewritten everything, now send it for editing and see the quality of your paper. Remember, if you rewrite your paper once you have written it 10 times, every line again and again, 10 times, you are on your way to get a wonderful publication in one of the topmost journals. And then you also send it to the editor. So take your paper seriously. Don't take it light. Don't take it light. Now, before wasting time, let's say you have selected the list of 20 journals. Send them email with your abstract that this is what we have written and we want to publish in your journal. Can be submitted. To avoid wasting time, because some journals will say, no, we don't want to do that. So now you discard that journal. Don't get disappointed. Don't get disappointed. You need list of 20 journals. Remember, not everyone will like you. Not everyone will accept you. Same like a job application. You just need one yes. And make sure the journal style, word count, table figure, spelling, grammars, everything is checked multiple times, and your editor has checked it multiple times, because you're paying the editor. So make sure you tell him that no mistakes are allowed. Because I'm paying you, I don't expect you to have any mistake in my paper, because I'm sending it to one of the best journals in the world. Now, the last part and the most important part. If the paper is rejected by journal number 1, look at the reasons and look at the reviewers' comments. If it went to the reviewers, that means it is a very good paper. Now see the weaknesses the reviewers have mentioned. Correct it according to reviewers' suggestions. Correct it. Change according to the editor's recommendation, and ask for follow-up. What else do you want us to change in the future if we submit a paper to your journal? Ask them. Okay, very good. Now ask them, can I resubmit it after these changes? Will you consider it? There's no harm in asking. I know many people disagree with that. They say, oh no, the paper has been rejected. Go to another journal. No, there's no harm in asking. Ask them, will you still accept it if we make recommended changes and make major changes and resubmit it to your journal? Will you accept it for peer review again? Always try another chance. Always try another chance. If they say no, now go to the next journal. And you already know that they will appreciate it, because you initially sent them the abstract, right? So remember the first step when you were selecting 20 journals, you send them the abstract initially. You send them the list, your topic title and the abstract. You have initially written the abstract just hypothetically. You send them, ask them. So you already have those 20 journals who did not say no to you. The biggest mistake people do is they make a list of the journals, but they never ask those journals, will they accept it? Unfortunately, they select all 20 journals who are not willing to publish that kind of paper, that kind of topic. That's why you gotta select only those 20 journals who are willing to publish that kind of topic, that kind of paper. Just send them the title. Say, this is the title we are writing. Will you be willing to accept it for peer review if we submit this paper to your journal? If they say yes, 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 only keep the list of those 20 journals. Now, first journal has rejected. You ask them, if we make changes, will you accept it? If they say yes, you make the changes, but add some benefits in your conclusion and in your discussion section. More benefits, how this paper will be useful for the patients. One benefit, at least just one extra line. One more benefit, how this paper will be useful for the patient care, for the health care, for the economy, for the government, for the society. Just one benefit. If you can add one benefit, now resubmit it and see the magic. If they have allowed to you. Now let's say they did not allow. They say, no, don't do that. We do not allow it. If they say, no, you cannot resubmit to our journal, what do? You still make those changes, you add the benefit, now you send it to the second journal. Now see, your paper's quality has improved a little bit and you have sent to a second journal. Now the second journal also sends it for review, or they did not, they rejected, for example, but they will tell you why they have rejected it. Always ask them. And then look at the comments. You have already made a lot of changes. Now you will add those changes as well that they have said. So you modified according to their need. Now you have made more changes. Now add one more benefit. Add one more benefit. Wow, this is a secret I'm telling you, the greatest secret in the world. You add one more benefit and then you submit the paper to the journal. But you ask them, can we resubmit to your journal? If they allow it, you have done it, they will accept it and you will get a publication. But if they say no, send it, go to the third one. Now the third one will probably have nothing to say because your paper is extremely good quality. Now you have been modifying it, making it better, making it better, making it better. But if they do have some objections, change it, modify it. You are getting so many comments and reviews and your quality of the paper is increasing day by day. Remember the Kaizen principle. You keep improving your paper, keep improving your paper, keep improving your paper, keep improving your paper, keep improving your paper. Every time the journal tells you to improve and change, you do that change and improvement, but add one benefit and ask the journal, can you resubmit it? If they say yes, wonderful, you will get a publication. If they say no, go to the fourth journal. If they reject it, ask them the reasons, change and modify accordingly, add one more benefit, submit to the same journal, ask them if you can do that. If they say yes, wonderful, you will get a publication. If no, go to the journal number 5. How on earth you will not get a publication if you follow this rule? And follow it until the paper is published. And remember the law of averages. Remember the law of averages. That's how you do it. And follow all the rules of writing that you will learn in the training. Introduction writing. I saw introduction of some students and I noticed that they did not mention the main problem why they are writing the paper. Main thing of your introduction, because your introduction is what is the problem. So never ever do that. Make sure everything you have done, you have followed the instructions that have been given to you during the training. If you follow exactly what we are telling you to do, your paper will be exactly extremely of high quality. So this is it. This is it. That's how you do it. Now I'll repeat again quickly before we hang up, before we leave, before we say goodbye. I want to repeat again. Decide first of all that you will publish. You will become a published author. You will become a published author in one of the best journals. You can do that. Yes, you can do that. Now decide and keep your mind clean and focused. No other thought should come to your mind. Start saying that aloud. I can do it. 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 I can be a published author. I can be a published author. Yes, I can do it. And you will see your confidence level will go up. And start working on your paper every day. The harder you work, the more confident you will feel. Because most people don't work this hard. So you do this like in this way. Now, the next thing that you got to do is, this was your mind training, right? You believe, your belief will go up, your confidence will go up, and then now you visualize that your paper is published and you are showing it to others. You show it to others. Imagine. And make it bright. The picture in your mind, make it brighter, brighter, brighter. Make it clearer that you have become a published author and you are showing your publication to other people. And keep visualizing it. Now this was the mindset training. Now the physical training was, select a list of journals. First, you select a list of, like, I would say 50 journals. Start sending them the title email that this is the paper we are writing. Would you be willing to publish such a paper? Only make a list of those 20 journals who will say, yeah, we would like to look at your paper. You need those 20 journals only. And you say, thank you, dear editor, with their name. You're also making friendship with them. Contacts and friendship. If they respect you, they like you, they will consider your paper. Your relationship with the journal is a very important factor. Forever. Because a journal editor can also be a residency director. You never know. Never ever destroy your relationship with the journal. Journal editors, sub-editors can be residency directors. We had one student who misbehaved with the journal, unfortunately. I don't want to mention the name, neither the gender. I'm telling you. That will haunt this student. Never ever do that. Follow the most popular reporting guidelines. The next point. Whatever the study design you have chosen, remember the chances of publishing in a top journal of systematic review and meta-analysis and clinical trial are highest. But if it's a systematic review or meta-analysis, then huge chances that you will publish it. But you got to make sure you follow the correct guidelines, PRISMA guidelines for systematic review. And you check the quality of the articles. And look at the template of that journal that you're targeting, how the papers that have been published look like. How the papers that have been published in this journal look like. What is the quality of the paper? How big were the papers? How many words? How many diagrams and figures? And the Prisma flow diagram. Look at everything. Can you emulate the style? Just emulate the style. How on earth your paper will be rejected? No. And don't worry about your English, because you will send it for editing, professional editing in the end. How do you think the great professors around the world from different languages, French professors, Chinese professors, Japanese professors, how do they write papers in English? They don't know English really well sometimes. How do they do that? They have an editor, a local editor, a native speaker. They hire him. Use common sense. Follow the most popular guidelines, PRISMA for systematic reviews. Choose a systematic review or meta-analysis to publish in the top journal. Try to avoid in the name Google Scholar. Don't use Google Scholar as the name. If you do, make sure you have all the top databases in your search mentioned in your method section. So look at other people's method section, how they have written their method section. How big was the method section? How they have written their results section. Look at it. Make sure you follow mesh strategy properly. Regular checklist, mesh checklist. Regular checklist, mesh checklist. The idea of the concept that we have discussed, and we'll discuss more in the training. We'll discuss more of that in the training. Now, advanced search strategy, because you're using Medline. So advanced search strategy is a must for PubMed. Advanced search strategy, you will learn that during the training. All steps should be followed. Whether Prisma, whether you're writing a clinical trial, all steps should be followed. If you don't understand certain point of Prisma, that's why we are here. Deduplication, make sure you don't keep the duplicates of the papers that you have collected. Screening must be done by 2 people. Quality appraisal must be done by 2 people. And the data extraction must be done by more than 1 person. 2 or 3 people, at least more than 1 person. And you mentioned that in your method section. You don't leave that. Even in the results section, you can do that if you missed the method section, but follow Prisma. Everything should be accurate. Prisma flow diagram is a must. English would be checked later on Grammarly or Turnitin. Check everything, correct everything, and still send for professional editing. Find a native speaker. There are so many native speaking editors available on Upwork and freelance websites, freelance.com, upwork.com, Fiverr. I don't know if it's called Fiverr. Yeah, something like that. So you should Google it and you should search where you can find freelancers, editors, native speaker, put in advertisement, people will approach to you, take the rate. Whoever is doing it for a reasonable rate, do it. Go ahead and do that. You must be willing to invest on your paper because this is a life-changing moment for you. Your paper, it's a life-changing moment for you. It's a decisive thing, your paper. Thank you, Abhilash. Thank you. It's a decisive paper. It will give you residency interview calls. It will give you interview calls. It will change things for you. So how can you not take it seriously? Be willing to invest a little bit of money. How much money will they charge? 70, 80, 90, $100 extra? That's it. And they will make your paper written in a native style, correct all the errors and mistakes. And remember, you are also sending in them after you have done the Grammarly and everything, and you have written it 7 times, 10 times, 3 times. Now, the next thing is, we already mentioned that you email the journal in advance, right? Make sure everything is according to the journal author guidelines. Check the journal author guidelines once again before sending your paper. And now send them a cover letter in a very respectful manner. Cover letter. Once that is done, then you send your paper to the journal. If it is accepted, reviewers give positive comments, you're lucky. Smooth, no objection. If they have objections, they have some reasons of rejection and paper is rejected, you change your paper accordingly. Make all the changes, but add one benefit and ask the journal, can I resubmit it? Resubmit it. If they say no, go to the next journal. Look at their author guidelines once again before submitting. Change the cover letter to that journal's editor. Modify it now. Submit the paper to this new journal. They will highly likely accept it for peer review. And reviewers will ask you for minor changes, but they will not reject it and they will accept it. Or the second possibility is they will say that no major changes are needed. We will still consider it, we will accept it if you make major changes. You make major changes that they mention and submit it. But if they rejected it, now you ask the editor, can I resubmit it after making these changes that they have recommended? Will you consider it? If they say yes, now you still are on that journal. You are not leaving that journal. This is the good news. So that means the journal hasn't rejected you yet. So you change, do the modifications, and add one more benefit. Send to that journal. One benefit. Each time you get rejected by a journal, add one benefit before sending it to the next journal or the same journal second time. One benefit for the society, for the patients, for the doctors, for the scientists, any one benefit in your conclusion section or the last paragraph of your discussion section. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. If you keep doing it 4, 5, 6, eventually the paper has to be published because of the law of averages. Because of the law of averages. And you're also improving the quality of your paper, improving the quality of your paper every time. So imagine the 4th or 5th journal. When you send your paper to that 4th or 5th journal, imagine the quality of your paper. What will be the quality of that paper? And also tell your editor that you will be sending your paper back and forth to him every time you make changes. You don't want to make changes and make incorrect English. So your editor will be working closely with you on those changes. And the paper quality improves and improves and improves. And how on earth you cannot be a published author? And be ready to say to get a rejection. First 2 or 3 journals will say no to you. So who cares? You did not want to publish your paper to those journals. You wanted that, okay, if they do it, wonderful. If they don't, it's okay. I'll keep improving and go to the next journal. There are plenty of journals in this world. Plenty of journals. High quality journals. Unlimited amount of journals. You will be tired of approaching every journal. So sooner or later, the paper has to be published. Somebody argued with me that you say it's 100% publication once a paper is written. How can you make such a big claim? He said, I'm a Harvard professor. How can you say that? I said, I'm from University of California. I started my career at University of California. So don't tell me that you know something that I don't, or you know something better than I do. You can't say that, but I can, because I have done it, I have seen it, and I have made a lot of people published authors, probably more than anyone else in the world. I have made more published authors than anyone else in the world. I can proudly claim that, right? 5 years, I can claim that. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just saying I can claim that as a what I can say, accomplishment. Maybe somebody else has also made these many published authors. I don't know. I think I am the one. Okay, so that's the thing, guys. Once the paper is written, so jokes apart, now serious. Once the paper is written, it has to be published. It's 100% publication. Don't listen to people that know some papers are not publishable. Don't listen to these things. It's 100% publication. You just keep improving the paper. Remember the process of self-improvement. Rejection, you make changes, resubmit it with a benefit to the same journal or the next journal. Improve, make the changes recommended by the journal and the reviewers. Add a benefit, submit to the same journal or the other journal. Every time the quality of your paper will go up. After 4 or 5 times, you will become an expert as well. Your paper will become amazing as well. And see the magic. That's how you publish a paper in the top journal or major publisher. Or imagine an ordinary journal. They will be crazy about you if you follow this. It's 100% publication right away in the first attempt. Forget about the top publisher. If you, let's say, want a publication fast, easier, without rejection, now with these points that I've mentioned, if you submit it to Q3, Q4 journal, right away, they will publish it right away. But if they reject it, don't get disappointed. Everything has area of room for improvement. Follow the process again of improvement. What process? Make the changes, add a benefit, resubmit to the same journal or the next journal. Follow the same thing. Before resubmitting to the same journal, always ask, will you accept my resubmission if I make changes? If they say yes, go ahead and submit to them after making changes and adding benefit. Now, if they reject it once again, second journal, third journal, fourth journal. That's how you do it. And this process, you can call it a self-improvement process, a Kaizen process of publishing your paper. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming. Now, anyone has any question for me before I leave? And I hope every student has already created an account on the website. That's a must. And all the enrolled students, wait for your live classes for Saturday. Okay, and we will give you the updates. And anyone has any question, please ask me. If you don't have any question right now, you think about a question later, feel free to text me on my WhatsApp. This number is for the student, so I will get back to you and I will answer. Okay, so anyone has any question left? Okay, somebody who hasn't enrolled, so just contact us. Okay, CIBNP. This session is for our enrolled students, by the way. So if you are interested, this is the number, call on WhatsApp. Okay, so everyone, anyone has any question? Any question before I leave? Okay, I think everyone is clear. Nobody has any question now. If you have any question, feel free to leave a message and I'll get back to you. And thank you, Shravanti. And I would like to speak with you as well. I want to see how much have you done. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. No problem. I'm leaving this session here so that anyone who could not attend, they can rewatch it or they can watch it. And all those who watched it already, you can rewatch it, fast forward, and make sure you don't miss these points because these are very valuable points that we have discussed today. Very valuable points. Don't miss these points. Okay, watch it again, fast forward so that you don't get tired of long session. When I have a long video to watch, I watch it on fast forward. Telling you a secret, I watch it in fast forward. I take notes. Every day I'm learning on YouTube something. So that's the benefit of YouTube. It allows you to fast forward. Thank you. Thank you, Hyam. Thanks a lot. And guys, we will see you again very soon. And I'm conducting another session this Thursday, career related session, and we will meet on Thursday. And until then, good luck and start working on your paper. All the new admissions, please contact me. I have something to tell you. Okay. So we will discuss that. Thank you, guys. Best of luck. Okay. Have a good day.